Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. We're here. I'm excited to be sharing Krista's story. We've known each other for, I don't know, probably 20 years. We were together in another company, and she's in the travel space, health space as well. And we're putting this on tonight because she's at a point in her business where she's ready to launch 2026, share more about what's happening here with her travel company. She has an extensive background. So, Krista, I'm going to pass it back to you and have you redo your story because we didn't record. But I'm excited, so I'm gonna move the slide
No,
to this page here, and then we'll go right ahead. And thank you.
perfect. Well, awesome. Thank you, Gary. Yeah, it's been at least 20 years, probably more. Um, so
Wow.
I'm so thankful that we're doing this tonight. Thank you, everybody, for being here. And thank you, Gary, for helping us make this happen. But I'm Krista, and how I came about this company when Gary and I kind of reconnected, I was looking for something specific in my life at that point. About 5 years ago, I was thinking more about retirement, scared about retirement, let's be honest. I didn't really have a plan. And so I was looking for one. I wanted something that was going to give me, more freedom. So I wasn't working until I was 65, but actually lets me enjoy my retirement as well. And what does everybody want to do when they retire? Probably travel. I
Travel.
mean, travel's
Yeah.
the biggest one. Um, we don't have to be stuck behind our computers and our desks or clocking into a job. We want to go and enjoy the world and experience things with the time that we have left. And so that's what I was looking for. And I was working a full-time job, so I needed something that I could build on the side while I'm still working to pay my bills. And I honestly was looking for something in the MLM space because I just understood about leverage and the community that it builds and just the long-term potential. So that's what
Yeah.
I was looking for, but I didn't find it back then. And I guess I just wasn't looking hard enough because this company's been around for quite a few years, and I guess
Yeah.
it's all about timing, and the people, right? And so anyway, I ended up going the traditional travel agent route. I went to school for travel, so I figured that's what I will do. I'll set up shop and I'll work on building this business, and then hopefully when I retire, I can still do it at my computer and wherever I'm at. So I thought that was what I wanted to do, and so I got to work. I started building a business, but let me tell you, working a full-time job, like many of us do, and building a business on the side in travel as a traditional travel agent is
Mm.
hard work.
Yeah.
And then I mean that because as a traditional travel agent, having that travel agent business, I'm having to constantly research destinations. I'm constantly quoting potential clients. I'm chasing after them because I need them to get back to me and commit to the trip that I work so hard for. Planning all the details, fixing problems when people are traveling, literally being on call 24/7. When I'm on vacation and I have people traveling, guess whose vacation is more important at that point? Not
Theirs.
mine. Not mine. If I have an excursion booked and I've got a client having problems, guess what I'm going to do? I'm going to sacrifice my family time and have to help my client. That was the world I thought I wanted to be in. And I quickly realized it was a lot more work, and friends and family aren't your, best client, and it's stressful and there's a lot of liability. And so when
Mm.
Gary called me, I was somewhat hesitant, but also excited to hear what he had to say because thought there was a, I had a feeling there was a better way,
Yeah.
And Gary and I go way back. And so I trust him. And so I remember I'm sitting in a theater at the high school theater. The family, we went to watch a musical. And I'm sitting here listening. I've got my phone. I'm trying to hear so nobody around me is, bothered. And halfway through the presentation, I was like, send me the link. Like, I got to get to my show, but send me the link. You know, it just made sense, guys. Um, I can't even tell you. It's just, as a traveler, this platform makes sense. The rates are crazy good. And then on the business side, I just took all that stuff out that was draining me because I don't have to do it here. I don't have to do it at
Yeah.
all. But I'm still sharing with people how they can travel better, travel for less, and ultimately take their travel budget and extend it so they're traveling way more often. And so I just I'm really excited that you guys are here to see this and hear this. I think everybody needs to be part of a program like this, and especially this one because the people are amazing. Um, but one thing I do want to say is I thought this was too good to be true when I first saw it because I know what rates are. I know what it costs. And so what I did was I just wanted to get started and then research everything from the inside out. Like, what better way to learn about a company than to actually be involved with them,
Yeah.
finding out how
Yeah.
it works, what the people are like, how am I going to earn this income? How am I going to travel for these ridiculously low rates? Um, and that's what I did. And it was so amazing. I know I've been talking a lot, but
No,
I
this is
am
what
really
it's about.
excited
This is
about
what
this.
it's about, Krista, because you have a lot of credibility. You know, people don't know me. I know we have some guests here. I've invited some people. You have some guests, but this is being recorded, and people don't know me. They know and trust you. I wanted to go back to this page here before we move on. This
Yeah,
page here, I saw this on your page. Tell us a little bit about this. I mean, this is I kind of get the vibe. It looks like you kind of creating your own community of women who want to travel. And you say
yeah,
you need, 2 to 3 people. And that's, kind of like what we do. We're not looking to, sell a
yeah.
bunch of products or anything. We're looking to connect with like-minded individuals. I want to just kind of take another chapter in their life and travel. And I know what we offer here, it
Yeah.
allows people to travel more and for less, and even the income side. So tell us a little bit about what do you call the building rebel tides?
Rebel
Tell,
Tides.
yeah,
Yeah, it's new to me too. It's kind of funny to say, but I'm like, I I'll be transparent here. I don't have a lot of friends. I don't have a lot of girlfriends. I don't have a lot of people I'm traveling with. Um, so I'm building that community. That like I don't have it, so I'm going to build it because I know I'm not the only person that
yeah,
wants that connection and wants to be around women who lift each other up and
hmm,
support each other. And that's really what I'm hoping to build. And building it through Travorium is perfect because what are we doing with Travorium? We are traveling and we're connecting and we are building community. And so it just, it's kind of like one woman at a time. And I am just kind of starting with me and anybody who wants to kind of join and be with people who just love being alive and wants more out of life and just wants a sisterhood. I grew up with
hmm.
brothers, I never have sisters, and so that's really what my thought is behind Rebel Tides. We're rebels. Number one, we're probably building this travel business in an unconventional way. We're not a traditional travel agent. We're not, conforming to those rules. We are visionaries. We see things in a different way. We just, like it says, we crave that connection, adventure, and ultimately the freedom to go where we want to go when we want to go, with the people we want to go with. And it kind of starts now. You build it now so you can
Yeah.
enjoy it in the long run. So, yeah,
Well, Krista, thanks because I was on your page just trying to get some information in, but that's exactly what Travorium is. We have a lot of people that they're either single, they don't have a lot of friends, and this Travorium, because when we take these world tours that we show you here in just a few minutes, there's people from all over the world coming together. They get to know each other, like you've been to some of our events, and you kind of meet some friends, and you might see someone you met in Australia or the UK and say, "Hey, are you going to Dubai or Hawaii?" Yeah, I'm going on that trip. Oh, let's hook up. And it just
yeah,
builds a community, one like-minded individuals from a business perspective, but just wanting to hang out with some good, fun people. So this,
yep,
I like to see how this grows. I mean, it's one of those things that's needed today, community and working together and doing something positive. So
yeah.
if you don't mind, can you tell us a little bit about this trip, and then for the guests here, and we'll get on to the presentation. But I think this is really important because of Krista's background. You saved here. You text me. You saved 50% on this trip.
Yeah.
Was this at Disney? It says Warner Brothers. Was this
Yep.
Disneyland or?
We went to Warner Brothers Studios. It was so shortly after I got started with Travorium, I already had a trip planned with one of my sons. He
Hmm.
had a choir competition and at Knott's Berry Farm, and we went to Warner Brothers
Oh,
Studios,
okay.
the two of us, which I saved from our entertainment portal on our studio tour. But I already had the hotel. The hotel was a group rate, which I thought was a really good rate already compared to their retail. And then I had already set up a car rental with my agent rate. And that was a pretty good rate too. I mean, we get a pretty nice discount. So I
Hmm.
said, oh, you know what? I'm just going to check and see what Travorium can do. Like I already have some good rates, and if they can beat it, that's pretty awesome. And if they can't, no big deal. Boy, was I just so shocked. Like literally, I think I saved over $100 off
Mm,
of my car rental, and I already had an agent rate, and I saved another $100, and then I saved on the hotel as well. So together, between the two, I saved 50% of what I was already saving.
saving on.
I already had
Wow.
discounts, and I saved 50% more. So at that point I was sold. Like, and this was just a little weekend trip. This wasn't going to
Hmm.
Europe, or going
Uh-huh.
a cruise. This was just my little weekend trip with a hotel and a car.
All right. Well, tell us about this Cancun trip here. Cancun trip, 4 nights.
Yeah. Yeah. So I'm always comparing. Like I compare, what I can get as an agent, what I can get what I can get as a retail rate. And then I always compare it to Travorium, and Travorium wins every single time, like literally. So this is a five-star resort, beautiful, adults only, but it's a huge, there's like five different resorts in one. And agent rate for the 4 nights is about $800. It is about $100 per person per night on
Oh,
an agent
wow.
rate. And well, this trip, 4 nights, 4 nights at the same resort, 499 for two people, $500 for the same, same room, same resort. So that's crazy. The agent rate. Now think about that was what I can get as an agent rate, but that's not what the public is getting
Yeah.
as a retail rate. So that 499 for two people and 4 nights is so unbelievably good.
Yeah, that's incredible, the savings there. And again, that's on top of your rate. So it for the public, it
Mhm.
might have been $1,600 or something, probably.
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
probably more like, yeah, like you said,
Yeah.
1,700. Yeah.
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 Well, thanks, Krista. Well, I'm probably going to come back to you a little here, but it was important that you share because of your background. A lot of people they don't know the brand recognition, and I was totally blown away. My sister shared this opportunity. I think a lady came in person, and I think she also saw a presentation, what have you, and she was saying the cost of this. And ladies and gentlemen, we'll get to the cost. It's not a whole lot of money, but she spent $20,000 on a timeshare a couple of weeks ago. I think she pays, I don't know, 150 or so a month. That's way more than our membership. We're not a timeshare. And we get to stay at the same places multiple times. She only can go, I think, once a year or twice a year. And, I asked some people, why would someone do that? And they said, a lot of times people are comfortable. They're comfortable with a name. Well, they don't know Travorium. Well, we're a 13-year-old company. I'm going to get into just the history of our company. But one of the things I wanted to share with you is, Krista talked about retirement. She really didn't have something set up. Well, we're less than 30 days away from 2026. And these are the top three things on people's minds. And this used to be kind of the norm for probably the last, I would say, just for years, decades. People want to make more money, travel, and better health. And they might be flipped, but I know where our economy is right now. So many people want to make more money. But what people are not talking about, the elephant in the room is AI. We're using AI for different things, but This is right here off resume.org. It reports that nearly 4 in 10 companies plan to replace workers with AI by the end of the year, end of 2026. This is what people aren't looking at. So, what we have here tonight, we're going to help you in a couple of aspects. One, be able to cut your biggest expense, which is your taxes, put you in a position to cover your rent and mortgage and be able to travel without having a whole lot of experience in the industry because you don't have to explain travel. You know, our business opportunity here has been here 13 years. But I wanted to point this out to people because people don't realize this is real. I saw restaurants that I won't give any names, but they cook Chinese food, and a lot of people go there, and they have a robot doing it now. And so, from a business perspective, yeah, I like my employees, but if I can buy this machine for $10,000 and replace 5 employees, I'm buying the machine. Well, there is going to be a shift of people moving into the entrepreneur space because that's going to be the new 9 to 5. Before it was like, oh, my cousin, he's always in business, or my sister, she's always in business. I knew she was going to be in business. I'm just not cut that way. Well, we're moving to the point where you're going to have to be an entrepreneur. It doesn't have to be Travorium, but I think this is a perfect fit because it's travel. I don't have to bring product to your house. You don't have to test it. You already can see we have a travel advisor on here saying that the prices are better. So
Mhm.
tonight I'm going to show you why Travorium is not another, side hustle. It is a vehicle that can get you paid, that can get you traveling and provide freedom and get you out of that stuck mindset of survival. A lot of people today, they're clipping coupons, they're just trying to get deals. We're talking about thriving, not just surviving. Somebody watching this, or either the recording, you're completely in a different place here by the time we finish. It's not a big decision. It's just one decision, and the only reason you're not right now involved in some type of business is because you might be caught in that chaos of all the things you see out there. Every time you go on Instagram, make $50 by watching a video. All these things we're bombarded with. The importance of tonight, Krista. You don't know me, but you know Krista. She has a background, you know her reputation. And for the guests that I invited here, this is a viable solution to help you create a lifestyle that you desire. Now, a little background on the company here. We're a 13-year-old company, and this is huge. We're positioned right in the marketplace where we have this big transition of employees being displaced by AI to move to a business in the box. Why do I say that? Travorium one, stability. They've been around 13 years. We have 3 brick and mortar offices. A lot of things you try online, you can't reach anyone. We have corporate offices. Here are 3 of them: one in Temecula, California, Madrid, Spain, and Almaty, Pakistan. This is our owner and CEO, David and Adela Hart. They position this to be a legacy company. So now, from a travel perspective, it's booming. I don't care what you say about cost of eggs and meat and everything going on. People are still traveling though. They still are traveling. It's projected to be $15.5 trillion industry by 2033. Now, for a business person, that spells opportunity because although many people will see this, they may not join as the business. They may want to be a customer. But the point is, from a business perspective, I have a huge marketplace of people wanting to travel. This is something easy to explain, and the home-based business allow you to write all your travel off, if not most. Now, I'm not a CPA, but check with your CPA that understands home-based businesses because you are now in a position to write a lot of the travel off. Now, Krista, if I don't get this right, I think where you went to Warner Brothers, that's where you saved on
Mhm.
those passes for the quick line or whatever what do you call those things? The quick passes. Can you elaborate on that? Was that at Warner Brothers or somewhere else?
Actually, I did save some money on the Warner Brothers Studios, but the big one is when we took a trip to New York. My son was going there for theater, and so we kind of tagged along on our own. But I was looking at Wicked. It's the craze, right? And then I looked at tickets and I've never been to Broadway, so I wanted to make
Oh,
sure we had good seats and had a great time, compared prices, and it was amazing what I saved through our portal. Um, I sent it to you. It was like between the three tickets, I saved well over $300. Uh,
wow.
yeah, just what was it per ticket? Um, Let me see here. But it was
So
like,
what
yeah,
you're saying, Chris, is 300. So you use the entertainment portal here that I'm
yeah,
pointing
I
to.
used the entertainment portal,
Hmm.
got tickets. Right here, I saved $114 per ticket.
See, that's
And we had
incredible.
amazing seats, so I probably paid cheap ticket price and got
The guy
a
got
nice,
great seats.
nice seat.
Well, for those the guests that are here, we have our own concierge service. When you're traveling, you don't need to be bombarded at the front desk or standing in a long line trying to figure out what you're going to do and them upselling you for something. You got it right here at your own fingertips. We also have a price match on hotel booking, 110% savings, so you don't have to worry about price shopping or anything like that because typically. The travel booking sites are owned by two companies. I think it's bookingholding.com and I think it's Travelocity. It's kind of slipped my memory. They'll come up here in a few minutes. But how do we do this? We have a benefit package offered through Travorium. You get a membership, very similar to like a Netflix membership. The platinum membership is the most beneficial. That's what I have. My wife has that. Krista has it. And we earn through a point system. And I don't expect you to understand these points that we're going to go over here in just a few minutes. But what I understood, it was less. Now, we just had Krista tell us 50% savings, save up to 60%. Some is even as high as 80%. When I shared this with Krista, she texted me afterwards and said, send me the link. I thought it was to do research. She said, I'm ready to sign up because those rates that I'm getting ready to share with you in just a moment, she couldn't get them. Now, for those who are entrepreneur minded, it's a business opportunity package right here for you to excel in any aspect. So I want to tell my story, and I look at this picture and I kind of smile because my son, he doesn't look like that anymore. He was a little guy when I was looking at this opportunity. It was just a couple of years ago, and I was looking at an opportunity to make more money. I wasn't really interested in traveling because I hadn't really traveled, but I did the things like Universal Studio, Disneyland. But my son came to me, kids, they don't hold back. My son said, Dad, why don't we ever take a real vacation? I said, what do you mean? He said, my friends go to Hawaii, Jamaica, the Philippines. We never leave California. Well, we're on the plane and I told him that I'm looking. Let me digress. I told him before we took our first trip, I said, I'm looking at an opportunity where we could travel for less. I'm still looking at it, but I actually end up joining. And this was our first trip here. We took a 5-star trip to Las Vegas. It was $79, $125 total for the resort fees and taxes. Now, when we were flying there, he said, now, Dad, Las Vegas is out California, right? And I said, yeah, I guess he needed to have bragging rights to his friends because he's texting that, hey, I'm going to Vegas. I'm leaving California. Well, while we were there, and I look at this picture, guys, his shoulder is right here now. He's almost as tall as I am. But anyway, when we were there, I said, hey, son, 4 months from now, a couple months now, July, July. Actually, when did we go? July. Well, we went a couple months later. I was kept saying a few months. We took another trip to oh yeah, we went in April to Vegas. Yeah, it was about 4 months later. We went to Hawaii. This was our trip. And I told him when we were in Vegas, I said, we're going to Hawaii. And he said, what? The real Hawaii? Hawaii? And I said, yeah, the real Hawaii. This is us right there. We got there in the morning. We're at the beach. Man, that water, you need to have that bike. You get in, it's perfect water temperature. Man, we loved it. And almost a year later, you can see how much he told me a year ago. We're at the beach, and I'm actually letting him kind of tell his story about Travorium. Priceless moment to the mic here. He's having a ball. We having a ball. Hey, Cal. We're out here at the beach. I got sand all in my hair. We're just plunging in that water right there. Cal, how you like it this year? This is our second trip. Uh-oh. I'll be back. I'm going to turn my heat off.
It's fun. It's really good. Trying Travorium today because it travel for less. You can travel for less, and you get to experience really cool vacations like this, like Hawaii or something else. There's huge waves here.
I got sand all in my hair. I don't care. I'm having a good time.
Me too.
Man, we hit the wave and it just splashed all in my face. So, son, what do you think?
I think about what?
About Travorium.
I think it's
Put him on the spot.
it's good because you could travel more, travel for less, and you get free money every month.
Well, I got work for it. But
Well, you have to work for it, and yeah,
you
it's
got
cool.
sand in your eyes, huh? Water in
Uh
your
huh.
eyes.
No,
All
I
right.
have salt water. Yeah.
Well, he asked me because he's serious about going pro playing soccer, and he wants to go over to Barcelona. And he had asked me a couple of years ago, Dad, when I'm 13, 14, can I go over there and train? And I didn't say yes, and I didn't say no, but now I'm saying yeah. Let's go check it out in 2026 because they have those academies over there. So I want to give him the proper exposure. So that's just given us so much opportunity by being a part of this company. And how we do this, you get your own booking site. Like Crystal was saying before, if she's on vacation, people have an issue, they're calling her. We're not travel agents. You get your own booking site and you book travel. Now, this is the part for me. I said, okay, I don't understand the points and all the stuff they're talking about. But one thing I do understand is a cost difference of 50%. And we just heard Krista tell us again, she saved 50% on her Warner Brothers trip. Well, these are examples here of Expedia and Booking.com. This is their cost right here. This is our cost, wholesale price. And you're probably wondering, how come we get it so less? Well, we don't mark it up. When they mark it up, why? Because they got to pay people like Krista, the travel agents, marketing. We don't have travel agents, so there's no markup in fees. That's how you're able to save so much money. But right here, I said, okay, I'm in. Las Vegas for $15, I thought per night. And even people that are on our team, they still, oh, that's per night. No, that's the entire stay. I shared the 5-star one. That was obviously a high scale. This is a nice one too. This is $15 for the entire stay. This is $293. Okay. That right there, I said, I just need to know how much this doggone thing costs, because a lot of times people, oh, it's going to be a big upsell. No, it's costs you a cup of coffee a day to either run your business or put your travel on layaway. So don't worry about the cost. I want you to stay focused here on what we're doing because this is a tremendous savings here. Now, this is for people that are accustomed to traveling, really A player style, right? This is a $5,000 resort stay. We have for $1,900. We had the Maldives right now. I never even thought about going there. Well, $2,800 has got me thinking because that trip retail is 10 grand. We got it for 2,800. We also get these loyalty points that you can apply towards your airfare. We don't have discounts on airfare, but you can apply these loyalty points to your airfare booking. We have access to all the cruise lines. My sister, she just saved $300. I'm not sure if she's on. If she's on, you can pop on if you are in a place where you can do that. Stephanie, she saved $300 on her cruise. But here's one right here, saved $1,400, including insurance for 2 people. Ladies and gentlemen, it's right there. We are saving people money. Now, this is the one that kind of got me a little I'm taken back. My sister said her friend bought a timeshare. And I'm like, why would she buy a timeshare for $20,000 when she can get the same? It was through the Wyndham resorts or something. We got it for $45 for 7 nights, and we can go multiple times. I still don't understand it, but I won't sign up for that class because we have access to timeshare properties. If we went through all these World Mark, if you ever been to those seminars, they won't let you leave, but um, we have access to those properties. Here's another example. These are our getaways. Again, these are timeshare properties. Look at the prices. Why would I spend $20,000 and then 150 a month for maintenance fees when I can get this here for little or nothing? I don't pay for my points, and I'll show you there in just a moment. But here's an example: 8-day stay, 7-night studio for $7. Why? Because we have access to these properties. Now, my thinking is, and this is just me thinking, these timeshares, I know you have your block, and if you miss it, you miss out. Well, we're able to get access to those properties, And that's why with our points, it's $149. That's Cabo San Lucas. 8 day stay. Here's one right by Mickey in Disney World. 2 day stay. If you got a family, you could probably take 8 people, got a kitchen, everything. We have access to those properties. But this is what got me thinking. Okay, these world tours, because they're 4 and 5 star resorts, I wanted to be able to travel this way, but I didn't want to max out my credit cards. Here's Venice, Italy, 5 days, breakfast included. I got a real awakening when I went started traveling to these 4 and 5 star resorts because breakfast is about $50 per person. We went to Vegas. We went downstairs. I'm glad my wife didn't go down with us because we had breakfast. It would have been $150. They gave me my check. I'm like, $100. And my son didn't eat a whole lot, but that's typically the average. Our last trip to Hawaii, breakfast included. So I definitely appreciate that. But here's Dubai. And this breakfast in Dubai is not your bagels and waffles. No, it's a full spread. People that have been taking these trips, they don't even eat lunch because they had so much. I mean, they got lobster, all kind of stuff. Montego Bay, all inclusive. I want to take one of these trips here where I could just go and enjoy the whole time. But we got you covered for every travel need. Las Vegas, Hawaii, New York. I mean, we got it all covered. So drum roll. This is what people want to know. How much does this thing cost, Gary? It sounds good, but what is the big upsell? Well, here we go. The small plan is a silver membership, allow you to get access to saving on cruises and things like that. It's a $69 one-time investment, $52 a month. Our titanium, our next plan, would allow you to buy down some of these resorts. It's 149 one time, $75 a month. You get 150 points again. I didn't understand the points. I just said, how does it allow me to save money? Well, it allows you to take a nice vacation once a year. This one here is the most popular, 269 one time, 135 a month. You get 270 points. This made sense because of this 80%. This is how I was able to go to Las Vegas for $125 for 5 days because I got the platinum membership. My wife also has it. But the great thing is here, remember when we talked about Crista in the beginning about her the rebel tribe, I think it was. She just
Yeah.
said, "I'm just trying to find, we're looking to find 3 people that want to travel in this way, and that's it." But what happens is those three, and we'll show here in the next slide here in just a few minutes, it grows to create a retirement income because I'm going to show you the path that I took to add $30,000 in less than a year to my retirement. So what the company says, okay, if you come in here and you get a platinum membership and you share it with 3 other people, you are now profitable and you're not paying the 135 out of your personal account because it comes out of your commissions. That's what happened to me. When I launched my business, I found 3 people right away. I haven't paid 135 in over two and a half, oh, going into 3 years now with the company because I've been in profit day one. Why does this work? Because we take the middleman out. We go right from the customer to Travorium, and you bypass all these markup and fees. Now, this is what I recommend right here with everyone. Even if they come here and say, Gary, I really don't want to do the business, I recommend they get the partnership. Why? This is the big reason right here, the tax advantages. Because when you get the partnership, when you add that to your membership, you're talking $350. You get 270 points, but you have a business in a box. I've had so many people within a month, they say, Gary, I'm glad I got this because I got my friends asking me about it. Why? Because people are going to travel. You don't have to force travel, or they're going to see you traveling and they're going to want to do that. So even though we're in December, for the guests that get started with us, you're able to tap into, again, I'm not a CPA, but I'll just put it this way, there's some baseline tax breaks you have for having a home-based business, regardless of receipts or not, right? There's a baseline that you get. I don't want to say because I'm not a CPA, but um, even up to December 31, you can take advantage of these tax benefits. And I was asking my CPA, I said, how is that? And they said, well, just like if you had a kid in December, you get the tax breaks for the whole year. Same for paying the 99, becoming a business. So how do you earn income here? I know some people are looking at earning income. I want to give you my story as we wrap up. I got my 3. my first month getting my business going. And I became what they call a platinum director. I was in profit. I wasn't paying the 137 because I made $4.45 a day. They just held on to that and they paid my membership. Great deal. Matter of fact, a couple months later, I hit what's called a 1 star in the company. What does that mean? Those 3 people I enrolled, I helped them enroll a few people, a few friends, few customers, and I soon, within 90 days, had 8 people on my left, 8 people on the right, and I was earning $300 a month. That trip that I shared with you to Las Vegas was totally solely paid on, including airfare from this little business I had. It also paid for my airfare to Hawaii. So just in a matter of months, I added an extra $300 to my income. Well, we fast forward 8 months into this thing because after coming from Hawaii, I was excited. I came back talking to more people about what we had to offer. Well, again, it grew 25 on my left, 25 on my right. My income went up to $1,500. Remember, I was telling you in the beginning, we're going to show you how to cut your biggest expense, which are your taxes. And the number one thing is to help you pay your rent or mortgage regardless of where you live. I'm in California. I won't pay a mortgage, but it would definitely help. $1,500 a month will help a mortgage or maybe even allow you to have a mortgage. Some people live in an apartment and they're like, man, I'll never be able to buy a house. Well, now you might start looking at the possibilities of being a homeowner. Definitely right here, you can be a homeowner. $2,100 a month. Well, this is what happened less than a year of me sharing this opportunity. How did I do it? Showing videos, getting people on a Zoom like this, and just sharing my story. That soon grew to 63 left and right. I only at this time probably have sponsored a total of 10 people, not the whole 63. What is that? 126 or so? Not 120, just sharing like Chris said, just a small community. But it grew and it grew and it grew. Well, now we're embarking on this 300 plus people in the organization and it's growing. This will take care of my mortgage, guys. Right here, I would consider myself wealthy. Why? Because once you take care of your mortgage and your taxes, those are your largest expenses. I consider that wealth. That gives me more options. Here's just more income. This is the ambassador rank that so many people aspire to because this will cause you to be what I call a cash flow millionaire. Why? Because if you had $1 million in the bank, the return on that monthly is about $10,000. You got it in a good investment, a safe investment, conservative. It's about 10,000 a month. This number is so conservative. They say 4,000, but um, our average ambassadors are making 10 grand a month. It's actually pushing near 14,000. Right here, cash flow millionaire. How did you do it? Just sharing this opportunity. We've had some people doing it in 2 months, 6 months, a year. It really doesn't matter how long it takes because as soon as you say yes, you've already in a better position from a tax perspective. Even if it took you 2 years, three, you're paying less on your taxes. You're traveling, you're writing off your travel, and you're making 300, maybe 700 a month. It's more than what you have now, and you could just be one person away from really taking your business to a level where it's creating you wealth. Now, for me, as we wrap up, they have this incentive trip, but not an incentive trip, a recognition trip called Ambassador. Now, when I first saw this, I thought it was okay, you hit the rank and they send you on this trip. No, they send you every single year all over the world, all expenses paid for two, and it just gets better as you continue to grow your business. They reward you with this beautiful ambassador watch. But at the end of the day, ladies and gentlemen, we have an opportunity that can literally create legacy income. At the level that I'm at right now, God willing, I'm here another 30, 40 years healthy. But if something were to happen to me, my income doesn't stop. It will go to my family. So I've created a legacy income in just a short period of time. And, people work 40 years to earn what I make for Social Security, right? So the future looks great. Our company is growing. I want to show this last little video because we're a fun company. Chris was talking about, hey, I like to have fun and everything. I'm gonna play this short video here and we'll wrap it up and we'll close it out.
You got what I need. Sipping on emotion, all that good emotion, just my kind of heat. Раз, два, три, Travorium!
All right, there you go. You saw it, Travorium, ladies and gentlemen. Well, we wrap up here. So I'm gonna stop sharing. Krista, you can go ahead and close us out if you like. Appreciate the guests for coming on. And man, this was awesome. I can't wait to see you the recording.
Yeah, well, thank you again, everybody who showed up, and Gary for hosting this with me. I really appreciate it. And if anybody has any questions, you just need to reach out to me. I'm happy to answer anything that you have, talk it over, whatever it might be. But I'd love to have you join and take us. I need some travel partners, so come on.
All right. Anybody had any questions, you can come on. If not, get back with Krista and we'll get your questions answered. Hey, thanks, Stephanie. All right. You guys
Awesome.
enjoy the rest of your day. And I'll get this to you, Krista. Thank you.
Sounds good.
Appreciate it.
Awesome. Thanks again.
Bye bye, you guys.
Bye. Have a good one.